Good afternoon. Welcome back for chapter 10 of Malcom. Yesterday's chapter was about Malcom venturing into Aggie's room, but when he got there, Aggie wasn't in his cage, and there was a crack in the window. We ended where somebody opened the door, but we don't know quite who yet, so let's read on and find out.
Chapter 10, The Rat Fink. Honey Bunny stood in the doorway, his rabbit face masked in shadows. Oh. Malcom ran to him. Honey Bunny, oh, Fink, my whiskers, I'm so glad you're here. He stopped. The outline of the rabbit glowed from the hall light behind him, so still. Malcom resisted the urge to poke him, to make sure he was real. Instead, he tried again. Honey Bunny, something's not right. Have you seen... Now Honey Bunny moved. His paw shot out and swatted Malcom across the face. Ow! What? Honey Bunny growled. Don't call me that. Then he spit something out. A soggy wad of paper. Malcolm's ears drooped as he recognized it. Oh, scrap, he whispered. How in nubbins had Honey Bunny gotten a hold of Amelia's note? Honey Bunny, Malcolm's voice faded. In his head, he could see the Academy handbook. Never communicate with humans. So it is yours, Honey Bunny said. Jessie and Billy said it couldn't be. Malcom pawed at his whiskers. A pink strand of gum stretched out, and Malcom tried to wipe it off on his fur. I never meant... Honey Bunny glared. You talked to her. It says... Malcom couldn't help it. He peered around at the note. What does it say? I never got to read it. Honey Bunny's voice was cold. Colder than the air pouring through the room's broken window. It says that you're a rat. The words splattered into the room like the time Jovan threw the water balloon in science at Kiera. A rat. Gristle. Malcom had to sit down on his haunches. His puffed up from the cold fur deflated. The rabbit snatched the note up again. All along, a scuzzy rat. A lying scuzzy rat. Just like, well, what else are you lying about? Honey Bunny tapped his long, powerful hind foot on the ground. Now that Honey Bunny was in the light, he could see. The leg was bandaged up, with pink gauze, no less. In the back of his mind, Malcom wondered how Honey Bunny had hurt it. But there were more urgent things to face now. In a small voice, Malcom said, Nothing, I'm just a rat. I'm a pet rat who is so tiny that everyone thinks I'm a mouse. But the note, it's not that bad. We can trust Amelia. She's my friend. Your friend? Honey Bunny's tone made Malcom shrink against the wall. You're a pet. Does a friend lock another friend in a cage? Well, she has to. Honey Bunny's glare made the words fizzle out in Malcolm's mouth. But hold on a whisker. It was one thing for Honey Bunny to think scuzzy thoughts about Malcom, but quite another if he was thinking them of Amelia. Amelia of the straight rows of pencils and neat stacks of books, of color-coded notebooks, socks, and hair elastics, of the strawberry shampoo. Amelia, who talked to Malcom like he was a critter of velour and merit. Malcom stiffened his ratty spine. He closed his eyes and blurted, You don't know, just because the others don't like you. Jessie told me. Honey Bunny hopped to a whisker's breadth of Malcolm's face, and Malcolm's eyes snapped wide open. I don't know the sweet whispered secrets of my second graders. I do know. I know lots of them are in trouble and hurting and sad. I know some are mean and some are misunderstood, and some are too busy to know I even exist. But I know that I'm still a pet. Pets have their purpose, and it can be a noble one, but do not confuse it with friendship. Malcolm's mouth was dry. Maybe there wasn't a way to explain it, but he did know that he and Amelia were different. He knew it down to the tip of his very sore tail. Honey Bunny stepped back and eyed Malcom like a nutter who had unpacked stewed spinach for a snack. You know, Aggie was ready to take you under her scales. And now this. Do you know what can happen if you talk to nutters? It's not critter-wise. If the Lankies knew we could talk... He huffed air out of his pink mouth. It upsets the balance. We're no longer secret. The Academy's whole work is in jeopardy now. He shook his head. A rat fink all along.
All right, so he finally told him he's a rat. I want you to pause for a minute. If you have a pencil and paper nearby, I want you to jot down how you think Malcolm is feeling now that his secret is finally out, because he kind of wanted it to be out, but he also didn't for the reasons that everyone thinks rats are. Scuzzy. So take a minute, jot about how you think he's feeling.
Malcolm's whiskers and tail wilted. But wait, Malcolm raised his head. Aggie doesn't know? No, why do you think I came? I'm not here to sing Christmas carols. And Honey Bunny pushed past Malcolm into the classroom. Malcolm hurried after him. But Aggie's not here. I was coming to tell someone. Oof. Honey Bunny had come to an abrupt halt. Malcolm mashed into his furry rear end. Malcolm looked around the huge rabbit to a mess of paste and paper and crackers and Jolly Ranchers on the floor. The coldness in the air felt like a weight pressing him down. He smelled the chemical lemon of cleanser, heard the frantic calls of the chicks. It seemed obvious now. Of course something was terribly wrong here. How could Malcolm have missed it before? And where was Aggie? Honey Bunny slowly pivoted around to Malcolm. What exactly were you coming to say, rat? That Aggie is gone, that the window is broken. The window? Honey Bunny lapped to Aggie's cage. By claw. Honey Bunny swore under his breath. The rabbit glanced around, then hopped over to the desk. He jumped to the chair, then the desktop. He grabbed a dry erase marker with his teeth. He knocked the phone off the hook and punched in a series of numbers with the marker. He pressed his fuzzy lips to the phone. Ripe tomato 1B. The words squawked out of the PA system in the wall. Only then did Honey Bunny hop back down and over to where Malcolm sat, frozen. Malcolm had been hoping that Honey Bunny was going to take charge and make things right here, but that snarled up kindergarten shoelace feeling in Malcolm's stomach was growing worse, especially the way Honey Bunny was looking at him. Malcolm squirmed. Finally, Honey Bunny drawled, What exactly have you done in here, rat? The chicks chose that moment to pipe up. Leap, creep, keep. Now Malcolm could hear the pitter-pat, the scrape and thud of paws and claws on tile floor. Ripe tomato, of course, a code, a summons. One by one, the rest of the critters hopped, scampered, and crawled into the room. What's up, HB? Jessie asked, a little breathless, spitting out a string that was tied to a scooter from the gym. Pete the Tank sat aboard. Ripe tomato must mean get here, fast, not at hermit crab and turtle speeds. Honey Bunny eyed each one of them. Any of you critters seen Aggie tonight? The Academy members shook their heads. Harriet stepped forward. What's this about, HB? She wheezed. I had an hour left to snooze before our subcommittee meeting. Honey Bunny cut her off. Aggie's gone. Missing. The Academy stirred. Missing? What do you mean? Billy asked. I mean she's not here. She didn't report to the Ripe Tomato. Something's happened to her. He stepped back and gestured his paw at Malcolm. That's not all. I found this rat, Malcom here. Alone, inside a locked room that's been vandalized, including a window broken from the inside. What? Malcolm felt like the time he had been zapped by static electricity after Skylar rubbed his shoes on the rug. The rest of the Academy was just as shocked. What? A rat? They all drew back from him. Not a lot, an observer probably wouldn't have noticed, but Malcolm felt it. Honey Bunny nodded and nudged the folded note on the floor. Yes, he's a rat. He's been lying to us. And worse, talking to nutters. And who knows who else? Maybe Snip. He gestured to the lettuce leaves. It's him. He did this. There's gum all over the spilled stuff on the floor. The cage and window, too. What? Malcolm felt the Academy's eyes take his sticky whiskers. He fought the urge to wipe his face. Gristle, that stupid gum. But I was meeting Aggie. I was like this already, really. He turned to the chicks. Tell them. The chicks flapped around. Peep, steep, leap. Honey Bunny nodded. Exactly, as I was saying. Oh, come on, HB, Jessie said. Maybe. Honey Bunny shook his head. He's a rat, Jess. He said so himself. He lied. You don't know rats like I do. It's all about survival for them. They'll do whatever it takes to get their next meal, their next breath. They're cunning, sly creatures, not to be trusted. We've seen it before. I don't know what he got out of this, but Aggie's the one who's paid for it. That's why I called you here. But, Malcolm tried again. Honey Bunny jabbed at Malcolm with his front paw. We'll deal with you later. We've got more pressing business. He turned to the others. We've got to find Aggie. You know she can't last long at night without her heat lamp. The words sent a jolt through Malcom and seemed to mobilize the group, too. They formed into teams. Jesse and Billy shot down the hall. Polly and Tank took off at a slower speed after them, with Tank trudging along and Polly fitting in circles around him. Harriet sniffed and lumbered out the door in the other direction. Octavius crawled straight up the wall and disappeared into the ceiling tiles. Malcom looked around to see how he could help, too, when, yow! Not so fast, rat. The voice was low, barely above a whisper and slightly accented. Malcom turned. Pete, the hermit crab, had the end of Malcolm's tail pinched in his claws. The big one. I think you'll be heading back to your cage, until we want to talk to you again. He tugged on Malcolm's tail, and Malcom squeaked in pain. Let's go. Malcom hobbled out the door and back into the dark hall. Oh, scrap.
And there you go, my friends. Chapter 10. Is Malcom the rat ever going to be trusted again? You'll have to tune in tomorrow to find out. Have a wonderful rest of your day.